All right, we're just running a test here, guys. So won't be saying much. Just want to make sure got everything running here smoothly. Cool. Thanks, buddy. Oh no, I wasn't really doing a full stream. I was just kind of testing some stuff out here. Well, what I was saying, if you wanted to know, I don't know, I got short here. I don't even, well, technically, because what ended up happening is our opening price here at 12 o'clock, we hit an extreme. We could see that these guys from earlier up in here, these buyers failed to sustain price. All right. We had this big rotation. So we had a big move up, rotated lower. Sellers came in, pushed price lower, and then we got this reclaim, but this created that lower high underneath this trap volume. The timing of it was the key, start of the hourly candle. So once we get this prime, we call this a prime short, we get extreme, we fail back in. And then 12 o'clock opened up, and I didn't know if we were going to continue higher and reclaim, but the fact that we couldn't reclaim above 625, and then we had the hourly open to 620, you could see how it opened up. This was the opportunity for buyers here to take control, but they couldn't. Instead, they get stopped out. And then we have a major gamma level here. So this is gamma 3. And so, you know, typically you're going to see price pin at these levels, consolidate. And what ends up happening is little by little we started failing, you know, and then that's ultimately why I got short. And then here we started consolidating right around 500s. And then again, we have a new 15-minute candle just opened up, so that led to this pop. But as of right now, I'm just kind of watching. I mean, the structure is still technically bullish on the 15-minute chart. So in terms of trying to get a full rotation, I mean, if you happen to get a big sell-off and end up taking out this structured low around 400s, that would be nice. But as of now, I kind of have to wait because we're still holding structure on the 15-minute. Higher highs and higher lows. So right now, buyers, there's a big bid that just came in 100 contracts. They just pulled it. So we'll see. They're going to use that, and they have a nice offer right here at 957. It might be hard to see on Bookmap. I'm trying to figure out, I'm using the stream to figure out the layout to visually get everything on one screen. So it could seem a little messy, but we're beginning to base here. We'll see if they're going to be able to reclaim 75. Here they rejected it, came back in, failed to accept lower, and there it goes. Okay. That's interesting because what happened is they put a bid of 100 contracts. I don't know if you can see this on the 15-minute chart showing 102 contracts on the bid, but they pulled it. You can't see that here on Ninja, but on Bookmap you can see they canceled it right here. That's typically what you'll see. They'll put a bid, move it, get price lifted, and because they moved it, that just kind of creates a vacuum, and then boom, they slam it. And now we have 76 contracts on the offer added. So it's like a book flip, and they're trying to push price lower. So 15-minute had a chance to hold the 9 moving average. Still can do it. But we'll see. But we know where the stops are, right? We know where all the liquidity is. So as you can see, we've spent a lot of time up in this area here, a few hours, about two and a half hours. And now we're coming in to potentially test this area down here. So I guess that's what we're going to wait and see. If they end up testing this little low volume area here. We just got a prime long. Interesting. After these trap buyers here, so not really interested in buying that. But we'll see. Just waiting. Another consolidation, another range. You got to be mindful of these consolidations here. Problem with the Renko charts, if you're not experienced with them, is everything looks like a trend, right? So you got to like be able to start structuring pieces together to identify these consolidations. We can already see what they're doing here. This 25 level is an over-under level. So the context right now is the first 30 minutes of this 12 o'clock candle's bearish. And so I don't want to fight against gravity. 7 minutes for the 30-minute candle to close. And then we can see what happens after that. Back above 25s. 15-minute beginning to sweep. So 75 is over under level here. So we'll see what happens when we get there. Let's see. Over, under. So we're going to probably get to 75. And then at that point, we'll see this other step back in again. So it could be a scalp long, potentially back to 75. I'm not taking it, but see how they handle this structure here. You got these guys who are trapped. Trap sellers. But usually, you know, when you're in a structure like this, these pullbacks don't really work too good. It's more so just paying attention to the levels. You know, everyone tries to buy the pullbacks and moving averages, but they get liquidated and then the move goes. Okay? They're clustering here. So it tells me that usually I wouldn't want to sit in that. The better trade would have been right here at the prime long on this reclaim as we start breaking the 200. So anyone who is shorting the moving average, that's kind of where you would want to be buying right there. So that's the safe bet. Momentum entry against the stop losses. Boom. Same thing happening right now. That would have been the confirmed entry right there. So not the pullbacks, but the stop hunt. So in this case, this is what they did. Right there. Boom. And then here would be the confirmed entry. So what I want to see now is them get above 75, and we'll see if they hold. Maybe get back below, back above, and then pop and get a retest of the opening price. And then maybe the next 30 minutes from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, they can flip this since technically 15 minutes bullish, right? So the hourly candle so far at 12 has formed a low. And here's the high of the current hour, right? This little wick right here. All right, well, maybe it's right here. We have an open, high, low. There's not much of a wick on that hourly candle. Let's see what happens. Buyers are still technically holding steady. Get rid of these bids and offers. There goes that level again. You see how they tapped it. Could be a trap. Okay. This is the trap right here. We're gonna get people short now. And you still haven't taken out these guys here. And these guys are gonna get stopped. Let's see. There you go. There's that reload. Now let's see if they punch through the high here. The new 30-minute candle just opened. And it's bullish so far. 15-minute, nice rotation. Got a expansion here above the high. So this could be fuel for us to get that push up more. There we go. We got strong buying here. That's what we said. But once we get above 20s, now the hourly gets aligned with all the lower time frames. Right now the hourly is still bearish, but there's a chance that it does get bullish from here. So we'll see. 15-minute, nice little rotation here. 9 moving average held. 550 key level. Nice little stop run there. They need to support 75, right? This is that failure over under level. So let's see if they continue to hold above 75. Got some strong offers at 25. So that's good. But this is where we're at now. This is that zone. So it's like, do we want to buy into this zone here? No. We would want to see price hold and then start climbing the ladder. All right. And this is going to be the major resistance right here. This entire zone here. If I want to be more specific, I could just block that level out right there. And we got our gamma level once again. We can see how that has played pretty much throughout the afternoon session here. There you go. Are we now getting bullish? Let's see. $50-minute wants a higher high. So The 50-minute wants to take out this unfinished business in this area here. 700s. Let's see if they can get there. If you're still on the stream, are you able to see the bookmap stuff, or is it hard to see? I'm pretty sure it's hard to see. Let's see if you're going to pop this thing. 15 minutes trying here. There's the break. Pretty nice. Let's see if the buyers are going to be able to. I mean, the sellers are going to try to step in here on this level. There's the sellers trying to push price down here. Let's see what happens. 25 level. A little fuzzy. Let's try. I'm trying to think. What should be the priority here? I know the Renko chart's obviously like the main thing. That's tough. Let's see right here, 625s. I'm going to try to reclaim this 2.5 level. I'm going to over under. Let's see, could be a trap. I'm going to spike up higher and tag these guys here. There we go. So there's a reclaim. Watching the book map here. This is when we start looking at the book map because we want to see the order flow at the levels. So the sellers came in, and buyers immediately absorbed. Sellers came in again, and then we had aggressive buying once again. 615s came back in, and now they're buying above. Let's see if they can continue to support price here. I would not be buying this high. It's too late for me to get in on this situation. But it's okay because once this 15-minute candle closes, there may be another opportunity for the next 15 minutes if we get expansion on that fourth bar. Perfect. Now let's delete some of this stuff. Getting a little crazy. There's the market structure. Buyers did fail to lock above 25. Let's see. Can't sell yet though, because we're still climbing a upward ladder, right? Uptrend. We need to start seeing support fail like this. Until then, they can continue to chop around the 625 level. And we're forming a consolidation again. So typically they're going to do a liquidation before they take it up higher. But just like over here, they did the same thing. They form a consolidation, a bigger consolidation, but at the bottom of the bands, they formed a bottom band consolidation, and that's usually an accumulation, right? And then the trend started. And this could be a distribution up here, where anyone who bought here, they start selling here, take profits. But 15-minute right now, I mean, we got 5 minutes left, so there's more than enough time for this thing to punch through this area here. The fact that this is a poor, it's a really poor structure here. They didn't really do a good job clearing out 700 level. So it tells me they may want to get back up there. But you gotta wait. This price is failing at 625s. Buyers tried a few times to reclaim. So that means that there's not aggressive buyers up in this area, or large enough buyers, strong enough buyers to support price above 625. So that tells us that we might start seeing some order flow step in to maybe start attracting price lower. So we'll see. Just looking, I don't see anything big on the map. And nothing here yet either. The previous bid was around 550, so that's likely where they may do it again. But remember what happened is they put a bid here and they pulled it. So it's a possibility they use that to get price up, sell into, and then dumps all the way back down. So that's a possibility. Let's see. Right. Minutes left here on this 15-minute candle. Will be enough for us to get that spike into the highs. What kind of candle we get here. We're gonna be able to close at the top part of it. Watching. Closure to that can become a potential support level 621. Minute left here. Yep, reclaiming 25 again, 25. do this right here too. All right, sorry. Do they knock these guys out? And now it's 1 minute left for this candle to close. See what they do. Rejected. Trap those buyers again. You don't want to be buying a pre-breakout. Just because structurally you start seeing breakout like this. This is where everybody gets messed up. There we go. We prefer to be buying down here. All right, new 15-minute candle just opened. Watching this 15-minute here. See. We don't want to see, if this is going to stay bullish, we don't want to see price trade below this candle's low here at 58. The only problem is there's no wick on that candle. All right, very little wick there. So 59s. All right, so this looks good because now they got sellers trying to sell against this, which could be enough for price to... We got to get enough sellers in the mix in order to create fuel for the move higher. They failed to close above this 21 level. All right, so let's see now if they can get through the high of this candle here. 43.75. Nope. Rejected again. You get a retest of 75. Nice little scalp, but not really a fan of this action. See if they're going to be able to hold this 600 level here. Try long. 43s. Not been able to get through 625, so This is really annoying. Consolidation to consolidation. They'll be targeting 43, and then if we can get up to 700s, if we can escape this, we got to see a reclaim of 25 and hold. Wrong one. Need to see something like that. Boom. All right. We'll take that partial right there at the high. Come on. There's the partial. Stops break even. And let's see if we can get through this 15-minute high. And if we can, then we look for 700s. I want to see them hold 25. It could be your ad. Get back above 25. There's the pullback. Let's see if we can get it. Added back some more contracts. Let's see if we can stay above 25 and get to 700 now. Probably going to get tagged out. They may do a double bottom, so I may just consider keeping the stop a little lower. Technical place would be 600. We don't want to see price reclaim below 600s. That's the main thing. And I don't want this thing to just crash. We got some big sellers that just stepped in right here. Oops. Yeah, we couldn't get a body closure on a 1-minute chart above 625. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like how it failed there, 25. We need to get back above 25. See, I don't want this seller at 149 to have the effect where the result is lower lows and lower highs. We don't want that. This is the specific level. It's the battle zone, rejection zone. Okay. Let's see if we can get to that 700. If we can clear 50s, I think this could be. We got 5 minutes left here. Let's see. There we go. There's the acceleration I'm looking for. Stop now under the hourly open, 620s. So the hourly candle is bullish, but we need to get and stay above 50. They just took out that high, but we're not seeing strong movement here. We're seeing another consolidation here at the highs. Yeah, probably gonna get tagged out on my break even here. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, okay. I'll take that cut. That's fine. We don't want to see that. All good. I was able to take that little partial. So now they really trapped both sides. But these guys here, anyone above 625 is underwater right now. But they still haven't reclaimed 600, so that's the trade right there. We got long here, took the partial, added some contracts here, and then closed out for a small little loss on that. But overall, net position profitable on that one. We were anticipating the breakout, right? The continuation, but we didn't get it. I think we go lower first. Maybe we get a retest down here. 60s, 50s. Okay, let's see. It looks like these buyers getting liquidated. Let's see. And they're building another consolidation again. Jesus. We got 1 minute left here for this 1 hour candle. Let's see. We're gonna probably close underneath. Okay. 1 hour bearish close. Let's see if they sweep this 15-minute low right here. Where's that 15-minute low? 83s, 84s. Did they get above the 1 hour open here? 15-minute trying to turn up here. There it is. Let's see. Can they get above 25s? Rejected again. They just released the oil rig Baker Hughes numbers, so that could be the catalyst. Energy and tech connected. There's the break. All right. Chop City there, but that's how it goes. Bigger the consolidation, maybe the bigger the move. Let's see. So this is all one big consolidation here. And let's see if they can hold above, and then we get follow through to 700. If you're a buyer, you don't want to see price fail back inside below 25 again. We want to see it stay firm. Otherwise, it's just another liquidation trap and they come back down again. But 700 is on the books right now for the next magnet. Let's see if they can get there. Let's see if the sustained buying continues. I wouldn't be surprised if they rotate to the bottom of the range again. 600s. But 50 minutes staying firm so far. And then our IB highs is 665. So wait. Another consolidation again. Okay, let's see if these guys can break out and give us a higher high. That is the first pullback right here. Yeah, this little structure, and now we're getting this structure here. And you got a closure above 50. Be a quick cut. If they can close back under 50, I may consider a rotation short. If they hold, then we'll be looking for 700s. Yeah, it was worth a shot. Wasn't really high probability trading against hourly in the 15-minute, but the fact that they were chopping, consolidating here, maybe they were giving us a nice little distribution for rotation back down. 50-minute expanding now. 700s is the target. Oh, there's 700. See what happens here. And prime short here. We still did not really clear 700s. Let's see what they do. Take that. Scalp. Up above 75s. And this buyer should step in if they're going to support price. 15-minute obviously is bullish. Okay. Take the partial. Break even. I'm taking the partial because we're structurally and time-wise bullish, right? But the fact that we literally tagged our big figure round number, it's also a gamma level to the tick, and then prime short. And then we had a over-under of 75. It's enough for me to give it a shot. And technically, if we look at the IB high on the 15-minute, we had a failure to accept above. And then now we're beginning to get closure back below 665. So 15-minute needs to close above IB high for this to have a shot at creating another higher high, or at least another 15-minute high. So it's still possible. It's still obviously structurally time-wise possible. I mean, it's only been 15 minutes within the hour, and here's our hourly open. And so we're still above the hourly open. We've only retraced about 50%. Yeah, we're right at the 50% retrace, which is typical. And you'll find price open up, come back, retrace, and then the true expansion can happen after that. So it's pretty helpful to monitor like the 30-minute openings if you're tracking time. All right, so 15-minute right here, and we're already at the midpoint of the hourly. So we'll see if they can step up and take back control. And if not, then once we get below these guys, then this can become supply for us to start selling into. We'll see. And my target would be where we had that bid around 550, where they removed it about an hour ago. We'll see what happens. There we go. So they're liquidating these guys. And then technically, if this does reverse, then what I will do is take the height of the high to the open, and then we could even project it for the target down here for a 100% move and look for any key levels, which we have our settlement, as well as, let me get rid of this. We have settlement, and then we also have our put support down there, 500s. Reload, reset the chart real quick. There we go. Yeah, we get to the bottom of the range here. That'd be nice. But the bigger target would be 100% move of this sweep up. I like it. I like it. Prime short was pretty nice there. Let's see if we can get back below now these guys. So this is the point of origin. Once these guys are underwater, then it's game over. Game over for the buyers. It's lights out. Lights out. All right. Let's see if we can take out structural low at 500. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, we're back under 25. Well, it's a major support, so I should take off one piece of the runner there. All right, let's delete all this stuff. So that was nice. So that whole play, I mean, literally that structure was built from 1235. So this whole rotation took place, what time is it right now? Almost 40, about 45 minutes. Right? You built a ton of value here. We got the reaction, they liquidated, they retested our DEX 5 level, I think that is. I can't see. 700 big figure. This was the reaccumulation. And then this was the distribution right here. Prime short, failure to accept above 75. And then this now becomes our supply zone. For most folks, if you're trading a prop account, you would totally be taking your profits unless, you know, depending on what kind of account you're trading. Because there's a possibility that this thing does bounce here and then shoots back up. Right? There's still structurally 15-minute bullish. Now, once we start closing underneath 600, let me close through these lows. But I'd be looking at, the reason why, if anything, I'd be looking at this area here at 58s for price to retest. So it's like the magnet, 58. There's like no wick on that candle. So I may need to come back down and repair that low. And then, of course, we got these structures here that they can come in, knock out if they wanted to. But this is the first pullback. It's still early. I mean, they can sweep this low and then take it up higher. I mean, that's still on the books. It's still possible. So breakout buyers get trapped, and then they take it up higher. But right now, what's confirming for me is how they built this 1 hour profile. They opened it up, created the low, created the high. How much of a percentage was that? 0.3%. So now we'll see if we get a larger down move. But we need to escape to 600. And we need to start seeing 600. This zone here. We need to see price start failing underneath and accepting lower. And we can start seeing structure respecting now. So sellers are definitely locking in. We got 8.5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. 550 is my ideal target for the final piece. But I don't know. We're still in this absorption zone. This is like where all the buyers been hanging out. This market's so messed up. They'll take it all the way down like this, reaccumulate, and then shoot it all the way back up. Prime long right here in the zone. And they're reclaiming the hourly open. Could be an opportunity to re-add. But that 15-minute could be sweeping. And if they sweep this, there's a possibility this ends up becoming a trap low, and then they rotate higher and actually take out the structural high. They still didn't finish what they needed to do up here. This first pullback here on the 1 minute, first test of the 200. This would be good if they give us a higher high. And then a failure back below, and then we can get short again. There's our higher high right there. I would want more buyers. But it's okay if it just fails here. If it fails here, that means that there's really no buyers present in this attempt to push higher. $59s. Looking at the order book on Bookmap to see if there's anything interesting. There's nothing. No large orders at all anywhere. Nice little test of supply here. You have stacked structure here. I mean, that's nice. So the actual point of origin would be down here. That's where 15-minute structural low is. And prior settlement. This is kind of the area I'd be paying attention to for targets. If they can get through 75. Okay, buyers are trying again. Let's see if they're going to get this structural push. Five minutes left on this 15-minute. We're still holding the 9 moving average on the 15. Trap getting set up here on the 8. So we avoid these type of sell signals here. Although they aren't good if they come after a prime, because that means these guys are trapped buying support. Okay. But I'm expecting to see some type of reaction somewhere in this area here. If the buyers are not present anymore, then I would say that the book is flipped and we are going to see more sell side pressure than anything. If they're not present here, the next area I'd be looking is right around prior settlement, if 514s. Still waiting. We're still in the zone. Let's see if they reclaim the structure here. And they're forming consolidation again. This is where I was expecting the buyers to step back in. And here they go. Reclaiming the hourly. Forming a broad formation. So this is that sweep effect that's beginning to occur here. We got 3 minutes left. This could be a full reclaim back to the highs. We'll take that last runner off just in case. Let's see. We got a strong buyer here. Could also be a buy stop that got triggered. Now, if they start reclaiming 650s, it's time to get back to 700s. Yeah. But we talked about the zone being the zone, right? Like we didn't want to see, if I was a buyer, we wanted to see price hold in this area and then them to start stepping up. And if they fail, then we would have expected the next zone below. So we can see that they were pretty aggressive here, and we can see the 15-minute beginning to sweep. Once this turns from red to green, this could be the acceleration, and then we get back to 700s and higher. But this is the area we gotta sustain here, the 50 level. Boom. It's helpful there's some buying here, but I can't be buying yet at this point. I gotta wait. You know, we just push back up. 618s, retrace. And it is a broad formation, so there's a possibility it fails and then back to the other side. But that 15-minute looks like it's really attempting here. We got 13 seconds left. Buyers would really want this to close up green, but sellers are still holding it down. Let's see. Okay, new 15-minute. Let's see what they're going to be able to do here. Just took out that 15-minute high. So we got a confirmed swing low now. As long as this low stays protected, it's upward from here. And back to 700s. $75, do they reclaim? All right. This is no longer valid for us. Reclaim. So I took an initial short attempt here. And then here, so I closed it right away. And then I tried one more time, stopped out. And then this one here on the prime short caught a nice little initial partial, second partial, and then closed out the runner on the reclaim of this high. And then they're sweeping this high now. Look at that. These guys are nasty today. And that's why you got to take partials in this market. So this is an interesting situation here, right? This is what happens when we're in imbalance. Boom, come back in, this resistance. Come back in, support, come back in, until finally one side gives up. And that's what we're dealing with right now. That was a pretty nasty rejection off 75. And I think it's important too, is like we did have this buyer come in and not much more after that. So, see what happens here. If the buyers step back in underneath this pivot, 32s, hopefully 625 holds. And then we got settlement up top. Unfinished business at 700. And then a bunch of sellers. Stop losses right here. This could be supply here, so be careful. Not good. Okay, I cut that one. they going to do here? Are they going to keep buying again? I feel like it's like too obvious. The level's like too obvious. Same concept. If we can fail below and hold below, then all this becomes trapped. And then we move down, start working our way back to VWAP 2500. I'm sorry, 29,500 level. You can see the book map, they're beginning to play with the orders. There they go. There's that 59 level. 152 contracts executed. They're going to reclaim 75 after repairing his low. See. Digging hold above 600 again. So we have an outside candle here. We have forming take out the high and the low on the 15-minute. We'll see how this closes and wait for the next 15-minute candle to open up. And then we start figuring out if we're going to go after the high, this outside candle, or the low. And they've already repaired all the stuff down here. Which side are they going to sweep? They took out both sides of the 130 candle. And for some closure above 600s. It's a trap seller down here. We'll see if they start selling some more. So the structure here, these guys got trapped, break, pullback. This is the first pullback, second pullback, third pullback, breakout. And this could just simply be a correction, and then we continue back lower again. So we'll see. New 15-minute candle just opened. Watch to see what they do with this little consolidation here. 600 still kind of holding. We did get a close below in the 15-minute, but we're still holding. Oh, yeah. It looks like these guys are struggling here at 600. Much better. Just executed on the offer. Let's see if it sustains under contracts. That could be the catalyst for the move lower. All right. They're testing the middle of the range. Well, this buyer came in and they failed to hold, so that's kind of why I decided to give it a shot. I want to see a reclaim of 600. $550's POC. So I expect there to be some type of reaction as we start approaching it. Stops break even. I will take a partial right there as we approach 75 reclaim level. And we'll just let this thing trail as much as we can. Put supports at 500. Looks nice. So this is nice. We had a fake breakout here. Let's see if we can get the rest here. 15-minute needs to take out 57.50. It could defend right here. $550. Trump's going to be talking, I think. We got to be careful. Probably be the last trade for the afternoon. It'd be nice if this starts trending. That was a nice little correction there. It was almost a mid 50% pullback. 0.49. This one was a deeper pullback. And they're still holding 75s. And they just reclaimed on the 1 minute chart. Let's see. It could pop this back up again if they don't. Large bid there on the book map, around 72s. Relatively large. And still trying here. Let's see. Watching the book here. Taking out offers. And we got a bid resting right here. So they may do spike up into 600s one more time. Then dump it. I'm looking at that bid there at 72s. You can see it pretty thick. There it goes. Let's see. Oh, they're trying to fill. Look at that. Holding that bid. Need to see it get traded through here. There it goes. Cool. All done. Let's see now if we can stay under 75. There's the reaction. All right, my trail got tagged out there. The zone is active. This is where we have both players hanging out. Right there at the 200. All right, cool. I think I'm going to kill the stream here. Just wanted to do a quick test. And we may start doing this more often. Usually I just stream inside my community. But yeah. Thanks for tuning in.